Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat, and it is time again for the hashtag 50 stack challenge. If you're not familiar with the hashtag 50 stack challenge, it is a challenge that I created. Sorry, I need to turn on a light here. Or two. That I created in order to try to use an entire stack of guest checks. There are 50 in this particular style of guest check. There's 50 in a stack, so that's how I came up with the 50 stack challenge. However, I soon discovered that not everybody has access to guest checks, so if you're doing this challenge and you do not have guest checks, you can use anything for a background. You can even just use a piece of cardstock or something like that. Some people are using envelopes, some people are using receipts, whatever. It makes no difference to me. That's just where the idea originated. Then each week I will draw 2 prompts. Because each week I do 2 guest checks. So like this week we are on guest checks 27 and 28. So I'll draw 1 prompt for 27 and 1 prompt for 28. These are all the guest checks prompts so far, including magazine image on number 26. So already we have this many, which is hard to believe. I can't believe we're already up to number 27 and 28. But anyway, so for example, a singular prompt might be something like thread. And so for thread, I did all the stitching and loose threads and all that kind of thing on this guest check. And then on this second one, it was corrugated cardboard. And so this little pocket is out of corrugated cardboard here. Okay, so that's what it is, and you can use whatever else you would like to use with the 1 prompt. The only rule is you have to use that 1 prompt. So your guest checks are going to turn out entirely different, obviously, than mine, because we don't all have the same items, but you know, you'll have that 1 prompt in common. Okay, so this week we have for number 27, and I just have this little bag full of pieces of paper with prompts on them, and there's lots of them in here. So this week we have for 27 is doily. So number 27 is doily. I'm going to turn my page here so I can write it down. Trying to keep track of, you know, I want to know what we did, and also it helps other people know what we're using, because some people are just now starting, which is 100% fine. This is really meant to be a fun thing. It's not meant to be difficult or, you know, something that everybody can't do. I want everybody to be able to do it. So you can use whatever kind of doily you have. Okay. And then 28 will be torn paper strips. So torn paper strips, number 28, torn paper strips. All right, so whatever else you want to use with those 2 items on guest check 27, doily, on 28, torn paper strips. So that's all you will need to do that part of the challenge. Okay, I'm going to take a minute, get all my stuff together, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. As you can see, many strips of paper. I've already done the collage with these because thank goodness I did. It took me I don't know, well over an hour, so that was a lot longer than I thought. So that's all I did, is I took all these strips of paper and I glued them this way and that way on. This is just a piece of white paper that I had left over from an Etsy order. So I'm going to set that aside because that's number 28. We're going to do number 27 first, which is doily. So I have some pieces here. I found this card in my stash, like a tag, that I was probably making for my Reason for the Season, the first year that I did Reason for the Season digital download. It's in my Etsy shop, and I found this. I don't know why I didn't end up using it, but I didn't, so great, I will use it now. I did add the doily up here, and then I added this little piece of dictionary page about Christmas. There's different Christmas definitions, but it got torn off short, so it's kind of weird, but it works nicely for that. All right, so I have some of the doilies from my Etsy shop that I cut on my Glowforge, so we're going to use those. But first we're going to put on this big avocado dyed piece of doily, and I got these from my friend Denise, and I don't think Denise is doing YouTube anymore, and I've tried to get a hold of her and I can't, so I'm praying that she's okay. I don't really know what has happened, but anyways, that's who I used to get them from. She was Wonderbar Crafts. So anywho, so I'm going to tear this down because I don't obviously need the whole thing, and I want to see my number, so I think I'm going to start there and just kind of tear it. So I hope you're doing okay, everybody. I didn't say any like welcomes or anything like that. I apologize. Sometimes I just get a little excited and jump right in, but anyhow, welcome, of course, and thank you for joining me. I think I might cut that actually the rest of the way. Where are my big scissors? Okay, so I think that should work pretty good to do that. This a little bit more. It felt like it was a little bit short, or I mean long still. Words right. I'll take it right down to that corner because I want to see guest check and I like to see the number, but it'll help hold on this bottom little flap piece. I can move on my little paper strips because I'm done with those. Get them out of the way. Alright, I think we're ready finally, right? I think I'm going to go ahead and use art glitter glue on this just because it's easier on doilies, in my opinion. Everybody's got a method with doilies. They are tricky to glue because of all the holes, obviously. That's if I can get my glue cleaned up there. So yeah, I don't have many stories to tell except that tomorrow it's supposed to snow here, so I'm not real excited about that. I live in Idaho, and by the time you guys see this, that'll be over and done with, but I'm not ready for the snow, and I know my daughter's not, and she's got marching band this weekend, so she'll be freezing her hind end off. So yeah, that's a bummer. I mean, I know it's gotta come, right? But I'm just not ready for the snow yet. I'm never ready for the snow, though. It could not come till January, and I still wouldn't be ready for it, probably. It's been wreaking havoc with the old arthritis, of course, because that's what it does. So every night I've been wearing my little glove things to bed so that hopefully I don't have to wear them during the day at all if I can help it. They do help. They're just compression gloves. They're nothing amazing, but they do kind of help a little bit. Alright, there's that. I like that. I like the pink. I need my little corner cutter. I keep moving it all over the room because I make tags to put in with my orders, and so I end up moving it all over the place. Then I can't find it. Weird. Okay. Ink. Alright, that will look nice, I think. I'm going to put a little piece of lace through that hole. I just have this lace here. Do I want to go? I don't think I'm going to be able to get it doubled over. Oh, you know what I should do first is cover that so you can write on it with just a little something. I could use this because it's got a little pink spatters on coffee. Oh my goodness. Oh, you guys, I'm a mess. I just want a little bit down the center. I don't need like a giant piece. So yeah, snow. You guys got snow? Anybody? That's what happens when you live northward. I mean, I'm sure there's other places that get it early too, but okay, and I'm going to round those. Maybe. It's always interesting trying to cut thin paper with those punches. They don't like thin paper, I will say. Or this is also kind of warped from being dyed. So, and I did the pink with watercolor. So if you're like wondering how I got the pink with the coffee and all that, it's just watercolor. Drips. Let's see here. I want to make sure I wasn't off camera. I'm going to have to poke that hole again. Alright. Maybe if I can ever pick it up off the... Oh my goodness. There we go. That'll make it nice and durable too, since it's got lots of layers right there. I'm just gonna do like a simple thing. This is some old vintage lace I either got from one of my Karen friends, I think. Karen or Karen. I don't know which one. Both lovely, lovely ladies. Okay, that looks pretty. And now we're going to put our little doily pockets on somehow here. It's just going to be kind of a little tuck, so probably do something like that with half. And maybe one of these. This size, I think. And we'll just make it all sort of a little doily tuck, so it'll be like that. Because you know I have to have at least one pocket. It's just become the rule. So I'm just going to do a little bit of glue along the edge here. I'm going to try anyway. If my hands will cooperate and not spaz out and go all the way across the thing. Getting old is just not fun at all. All the things that you don't have when you're young and you know, take for granted because you just think, oh, I'll be able to do that forever. You know, one of the biggest things is my eyes. Oh my gosh, they have gotten so bad. I mean, I've needed reading glasses for a while, but yeesh, it's getting nuts. I'm just going to kind of cover the whole bottom of this one, I think. It's very discouraging. I was taking vitamins before I went to bed the other night, and I have all these bottles of vitamins and things next to supplements and whatever next to the bed, just so I remember to take them. That seems to work best for me. And I'm over there opening bottles and pouring them out, and my husband's like, "What are you taking?" And I'm like, "Oh, you know, it's all my vitamins to try to keep me in one piece." He's like, "I don't think they're working." It's like, thanks, honey. He just likes to harass me. I really don't take hardly any prescriptions. I take 2 prescriptions. One of them's for my arthritis. So I don't take a lot of prescriptions. So I guess, I mean, something's working as far as that goes. But I just feel like I've got the fall parts. Fall aparts. Okay. Overshare, right? You guys are like, yeah, we don't care. Sorry. It was a TMI moment. Okay. So there's our doily. Oh, maybe there's our doily. If I don't glue it all the way down. You know, I was going to do that with that little one because it got glued a lot. All right, there's our doily. I'm going to just let that hang over too. I'm fine with that. Okay, so doily down. That one was fairly easy compared to this other one. I don't know what I was thinking. Strips of paper and I just went crazy. So I tore all the little strips of paper just using that and my scraps. So a good way to use scraps. That's one advantage. So like I said, tore all the strips sort of the same size. I didn't do any measuring. I just tore, you know, and then glued them this way and that way and glued some little extra bits on just however. Then I turned it over and I have this little, I'm going to do an art doll. I have this little piece from my art doll digital download. It's just like a, what do you call those? A form or whatever. Sewing form. I don't know what I got on there, but it doesn't matter because it'll get covered. And then I just kind of drew one of these. Obviously I can't have it this long because that's way too long, but we'll figure that out in just a minute. So I'm just going to cut out that shape so we can see what we got here. And I'm fine if it's a little wavy or whatever because it's meant to be like a dress. I'm kind of going for that. I don't know if you guys have seen them, but there's those kind of art dolls that are just a long body, you know, kind of thing with a head. So that's kind of, you know, the look that I'm going for. And right here at this neck area, I'm just going to dip in a little bit because I'm going to use that form that I just showed you that I used to kind of get the shoulder width thing happening here. And clearly this is not super precise or anything. This is just me drawing a basic form. So it's not anything major. Okay, so clearly, like I said, can't be this tall. It's probably not going to be able to be tall at all, but let's see what we got. I have her head, and I have some wings. I don't know if these wings are going to fit. See, this is the only deal with the guest checks. Because you really can't do... You don't have a lot of room. There's not much real estate. I'm going to end up cutting off all those numbers that I liked. But anyway, this is going to go back here like this. But I kind of wanted to see if I could get something that looks like her arms are there. So she doesn't look totally armless. And I kind of did see it's sort of like an elbow, like her hands are behind her back, if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. And I have all kinds of art doll and art doll faces and things in my Etsy shop digital downloads that I've made. This is from one of them, the head, and then that's the form, like I said. So they're just fun to play with. I enjoy them. But I know it's not for everybody. Some people get creeped out by them, which I understand. They can be very odd looking. So I get it. But they're harmless fun, I think, so I do enjoy them. Okay, kind of looks like she's turned to the side that way. I don't know if I can get another one. I can try, I guess, here. I don't want to make her arm too skinny. It's always tricky. You've got like a vision in your mind, but sometimes it's really hard to make it happen. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm going for. And then maybe just a tiny bit more. Of a V-neck there. I think that will work. All right, so let's get that inked and then we can figure out the wings and that. This could actually be a pocket as well. It's thick enough since it's all this collaged paper, right? Sometimes it works better to ink those holes from the back. I don't know how long I need to go here. Let's ink these. I may have to cut these down though. This is just some paper that I did paint and mica powder on. I have mica powder from Arteza, so it gives it that shimmery look, but you could use an acrylic paint with, you know, some shine in it or whatever, metallic, those kind of things would work. So we'll get her put together and then we'll figure out the height, and I'll put the wings on after that so that I know. Oops. I just had a thought. I wonder if that's going to show through those armholes. I don't think so. I think it's pretty narrow. Pretty narrow. Got way too much glue, like always. Really good at that. I either can't get the glue out of that thing or it just is gushing out. weird point there. Okay. And we'll put her head on. Let's just put the glue on here. And it's kind of good to like tilt their head or something a little bit so they don't look just, I don't know, weird, like not real kind of thing. Okay. Now let's see. We can come and cover Guest. I'm not that worried about Guest, but we need to figure out the wings. I kind of want the 28 to show. That'll work. I mean, it would look better if they were out here, but that's not going to happen, so we just got to get them so they fit on here. Okay, come up just a little higher. Glue on the guest check. Okay. That one has to duck down a little bit or it won't work. Glue is a flowing today out of there, boy. And I'll just put her up as high as I can. That's hanging over, but I don't really want to cut any off of those. Okay, I think I got it. Now I just have to figure out how long I can go here. Let's cut the corners on this before I forget. All right, now comes the moment of truth, right? I can come all the way to there. Well, I wanted her taller than that, but that's what happens when you're using a guest check. Okay, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and glue her down. I'm not going to, do I want to, I might do something to the background real quick first. I think I'll just do some kind of crackly, I have more wings, I couldn't decide what kind of wings I wanted. use this one too. That's on the, I have one of the stamps stuck on my lid of my ink because I don't have a big enough block for it. So I just use that and it works. I like this. It's just like scribblies. Down there, it doesn't matter, it's not going to be seen anyway. I'm not looking for the lid to put back on there. Oh my gosh. Okay, I need one of these real quick so I don't get everything black. These are just little hand cleaning things that my husband got at the hospital. They were, I think I've told you guys this a million times, but if you're new, he works at the hospital, and so things expire. And so they had these during COVID, so everybody could, you know, sanitize their hands easily and all that. And they expire, and then they have to throw them out. So he brings me home all kinds of stuff like that because it's such a waste. I mean, it's alcohol. Like, it's not gonna go bad. So anyway, I need to get in there. I mean, I understand there are definitely things I can see why they would do that, but for that I don't understand. I'm so glad you guys are enjoying this. And somebody was asking me if I'm going to, you know, do this again. And I might not use like exactly guest checks. Like I've talked about on here before, I may just do an ephemera, like a couple pieces of ephemera a week, and you can use whatever background you want. Only because some people, like I said, have had trouble either finding guest checks or whatever. So I just want to make it so that you can easily participate, which already you can. I'm not saying you have to use guest checks this time even, but anyway, that would probably be the only difference. And then, like, of course our prompts are going to be different. Like I've talked about maybe doing opposites, like picking once a week one little slip of paper, and it might say happy, sad. So you make one thing happy, one thing sad, that kind of thing. That's sort of where I think I'm going to go with it. But I'm definitely going to do it again because it's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed it, and I think a lot of other people have enjoyed it because it's just a simple, you only need, you know, the one item is the only requirement. Other than that, you can use any of the stuff that you have. So I think it's just been good for a lot of people. At least that's what I've heard. So I'm hoping. All right. So 27 is doily. And we got our doilies. I hope I didn't glue this in here. No. Okay. Doily. And then this 28 is torn paper strips, which is all the strips of her dress are torn paper strips. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Love you guys. Bye.